Hello everyone, I'm so glad to be here. But before I start, allow me to wish you a happy new year 2019 to you and your loved ones. I wish you a lot of blessings, happiness and health for this year. So Brian Tracy, a motivational speaker and writer, he used to say, to know what we meant to do in life, we need to go back to our childhood between the age of 7 and 14. Whatever fascinates us or makes us happy during that period of time is what we're supposed to do as an adult. Between 7 and 14, I was back home in this village in West Cameroon, Bamungum. I was raised there, watching my dad helping as much as he could, everybody around him, with no exceptions, even strangers. When he passed in November 17, 1999, I felt like a baton was passed on to me to continue his mission, to continue his cause. And I felt that way ever since. For my dad's funeral, a scripture was chosen to be engraved on his tomb, and it says in 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 7 to 8, I have fought the good fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. And now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award me on that day, not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing. I kept reading this passage throughout this almost 20 years, whispering to myself that the race doesn't have to be over, as a constant reminder of where I come from and what I'm supposed to do. And I found an answer through the DAKS Foundation. Maybe it's not the answer, but it's one step of 1,000 more to come. So the DAKS Foundation is a non-profit organization based here in Montreal in Quebec, whose mission is to promote literacy and well-being in Cameroon, in terms, mostly in rural areas, in terms of education, handicap and health. Mostly in rural areas, not because I come from one, but because the population back there are abandoned to themselves. And they are so happy with so little. So the education is part of my plan because, as Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon which we can use to change the world. And the education of the children back in the villages, they're abandoned to the mothers. And most of them, they haven't been that far in school. They are farmers. More than 90% of them are farmers. That was the case with my mom. She hasn't been that far in school. So the short-term goal is to collect school supplies here in Canada and to distribute it back in the villages to the children so they can go to school, like backpacks, books, pens, everything school-related. The medium-term goal is to participate in the renovation of the infrastructure. The school, they are in really bad shape. In this past December, I was home for the school benches donation in one of the village. And the school was made of mud, no windows, no doors, and when it's raining, it's leaking from the roof. And it's not safe for the children. So the medium-term goal is to make this infrastructure safe for children. And the long-term goal is to welcome Canadian volunteers or any volunteer that will choose Cameroon as a destination to go and help children, to teach children how to read and write. So that's the education part. The handicap part. Handicap is part of my plan because I saw one of my best friends going through an accident in 2005 when he was still in high school. He became paraplegic, he lost the use of his lower limb, he lost more than half of his spinal cord, and for the rest of his life he will wear a urinary catheter. His mom abandoned everything and just to push him around in this really bad shape manual wheelchair, which was giving him more harm than good. And he couldn't sit for more than 2 hours. So seeing him in this state, I kept crying, asking God, why him? Why now? And in December 2011, I said to myself that I should stop crying and do something that will help. So I prepared a plan, and back to school in January, I presented to the school life coordinator on this beautiful campus, the Campus Saint-Jean of the University of Alberta, with its great leader at the time, Dr. Makana. And it was receptive, and we prepared a fundraiser in March 30th, 2012. And on the lunchtime, we were able to raise enough funds to buy a power wheelchair. I worked throughout the summer to be able to cover the shipping cost, and by early 2013 he was able to receive his power wheelchair and able to be independent and go all over the country for his conferences. After 10 years of the accident, so in 2015, finally he was accepted at the Université Catholique de Lille in France, where he's pursuing his education. Today he's continuing his master, he's living by himself. He created this association to help handicap back home. This is a beautiful example of what I would love to carry on through the foundation, to help handicap be independent and to give back to the next at their own modest level. So that's the reason why handicap is part of my plan. The last part is health. As I said, I was home this December for the school benches donation, and for 4 straight days I was there. There was no water. I was like the strict minimum of life. There was no water in this village. And once again, it broke my heart to know that and to see children fetching pound water for the daily activities, which can give them local diseases like cholera, malaria, the typhoid fever. So the short-term goal of the foundation is to go back and provide clean water. I need something that you can just open the tap and have free water. I have no clue how this is going to happen, but I know it's possible and it's doable. So that's the short-term goal, to provide clean waters in the villages, one village at a time. The medium-term goal is to collect health supplies, hospital beds, appliances, everything health-related here in Canada, and to ship it back home. In the long-term goal, to participate in the building of the clinics, hospital, to help the population in the villages. So that's the DAKS Foundation. I'm taking this leap of faith. I'm taking action on my dreams because I know I'm not alone. I know I can rely on each and every one of you. You might ask, Sandrine, how can we help? So I'm glad you're asking, because you can help in any way. Helping us for the fundraising activities. You can organize a fundraising at your place to support one of our projects. You can help us if you have any school supplies for your children. Use one. We'll collect every use school supplies, every use wheelchair, anything that's still in a good condition but can be used. The population back there will be really happy to receive them. And we commit to give back 10% of any fundraise or any donations to other non-profit based here in Quebec with the same mission as the DAKS Foundation. So that's the DAKS Foundation. Thank you for listening, and please do reach out anytime, and thank you so much for any way you can help. Thank you.